exhibition, only so much can be read into it. But where do you feel you are in terms of specifically the power play and the units that you want to have together?
Yeah, great question. We kind of worked back our exhibition matrix, if you will, of the 8 games with getting what we foresee as our 1 and 2 units games and reps. Now that'll change throughout. Even the next time you'll see our quote unquote unit we might foresee as our top unit. You'll see some different personnel on it, but last night was one of those nights we had 5 guys out that we foresee battling to be our top unit, and we want to get reps out of them, game like reps. So special teams on a whole, I'm optimistic about where they're at. They both had good starts within the 2 games. They're both going through some detail. The structure looks fine in it. Obviously, our penalty kill, I believe, is like 11 for 12 so far. Even our power play, where I think we're 2 for 5. And again, it's exhibition. Not really overly concerned about the numbers, but at least we're getting looks and touches off it. So it's a good start to our special teams, but a long ways to go.
Are you have known, I mean, quantities like Moritz Seider makes sense to run one of them, maybe where you want Dylan Larkin, Tyler Bertuzzi, Lucas Raymond is maybe the net front where there's a little more competition. I mean, you've certainly given Elmer some looks there. Michael Rasmussen has played there in the past. Where is that more where there are spots where you're auditioning guys?
No. And why I say that is we have a little more luxury, we have a little more depth that we feel guys can battle for power play spots. I think you're going to see a lot of guys net front. You may see Dylan Larkin in this exhibition net front. You may see Tyler Bertuzzi net front. You may see Mason Raymond net front. I think it's a little combination of we want the puck maybe going through different guys on the half wall. So all those guys, maybe outside of Mo on top, maybe outside of Perron on his one-timer side, those other 3 spots we're going to be rehearsing many guys throughout those spots throughout camp.
Okay. And just with Tyler, any chance he's going to play this weekend, or kind of where is he at?
I would expect him. I know you guys weren't around for practice today, but he went a full practice today with a contact regular red-white jersey on, and he had some good hard reps today. So I would expect him. I still want to see how he responded from practice today and talk with our trainer, Pete, but I would expect to see him in one of the next 2 games.
Okay, maybe even tomorrow at home?
Probably not. My gut is we'd probably give him another day for some body maintenance. Then we'll decide on the road game.
Is he fairly easy there to plug in? Because, I mean, you've talked about that's a line that makes sense to carry over, that he's maybe one of the few that you're not wondering, like, where is this guy going to fit that line? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not necessarily with Dylan and Raymond, but he'll fit in with top guys we foresee competing for top 6 spots.
Great. Thanks so much.
Thanks all.
Ed Colfin.
Hey, Derek, do you hope to have, I don't know about a final roster, but by the time you have that back-to-back with Toronto next week, are those going to be kind of like a dress rehearsal, or what do you think?
We hope so. Obviously, we're gonna have some moving parts by then. We hope to see Cop somewhere in the mix, maybe not in those games, but ready for game 1. We hope the same for Sonny. So, of course, we're going to get into games 7 and 8. We hope it starts to look like where we want it for game 1. But with some of those moving parts, I do think those games will still be evaluating on some spots for opening night.
You mentioned Sundqvist. I mean, anything new there? Is he still day-to-day type of thing, or what?
Yeah, he skated today. He skated the last 2 days with our skills coach. Amped it up today a little bit. He had a good skate. I know we had a little laugh in there with Sonny. I was asking for Sonny, and some of the guys said he's out on the ice, and one guy said he's wheeling around. And then the other guy said, I won't mention names, he's like, Sonny doesn't wheel. So Sonny had to told Sonny that story, and he's looking for who it is. So he had a pretty good laugh at it, but it's a good sign that he was out there getting reps. Is really important. Obviously, we'd like all these guys for game one, but conditioning is a reality, especially coming off those body maintenance where they're unable to be on the ice. So it's going to be a process with those guys, but they're taking steps forward.
Hey, one more. Philip Roenick was a guy who was kind of up and down last year. Any first impressions of him this year and how he fits into this whole thing for you?
I've been happy with Phil. Again, that mentality of a fresh start for everyone. He's had a good camp. He obviously played very well for anyone that watched the entire Pittsburgh game. He's been good in practice. He's come to work every day. He seems to be in a good spot with some confidence, and he's excited about his game. So I'm happy where he's at, and hopefully we can keep building on that.
You talk about that fresh start. I mean, it truly, I guess, is legit. I mean, for you, because you didn't know many of these guys really, and then vice versa from their perspective too. I mean, it's kind of basic, but it is true in a way.
I wanted it real, a fresh start. And of course, I'm a coach. I've watched a ton of video this summer, but I was very cautious, and I wouldn't say I tossed it or threw it out. I did want to get a feel and impression for some players, but I wanted it to be a fresh start. I've given guys a feel that's a fresh start. You can probably see with some guys where they've been with some of their opportunities in the first couple of games. It's a fresh start, and I think that's healthy, and we'll continue to do that throughout camp.
Appreciate this. Thanks, Derek.
Max Boltman.
Hey, Derek, just to follow up, it looked like Velena was out there too. Is he kind of a similar timeline to Bertuzzi in terms of getting back?
Exact same timeline. Probably will not see him at home tomorrow night, but our hope is he's available for at Chicago. Again, good reps today, hard reps. He was in a full jersey, not the orange non-contact jersey. So a good step for him too also.
And then you talked about kind of sorting through power play options. How about on the penalty kill? I know you talked about maybe giving Zadina some looks in the preseason, but do you kind of have a pretty wide open field for who that might be?
Absolutely. And you can see we used a ton of guys through the first two games. We'll continue to use guys. And those fresh start, we want to give those guys looks. I think Zadina skill set could fit what Bob is trying to do and what we're trying to do on the penalty kill. He's quick. He anticipates. He had a really good showing in game one. He'll be fighting for one of those 6, if you will, guys that we anticipate going into game one for some PK time.
I've heard coaches in the past say like they think sometimes their kind of smartest offensive players end up being their best killers too, just because they kind of maybe anticipate what might happen. It seems like that might be kind of a potential situation for him.
100% him. I would put Raymond in that category too. We like skilled players that want to kill. One, it's more minutes. You get more opportunity, more flow in the game. And yes, and you'd like to think some of those guys have those instincts, especially with an aggressive penalty kill, something we're trying to accomplish on a penalty kill. We think some of these guys can help us there.
Thank you.
Last question, Ansar Khan.
Hey, Derek, just a follow-up on Roenick. In order for him to improve defensively, is it a lot of it just managing risk and knowing when to take chances? Because I know he obviously likes to be to provide offense, but just a matter of finding that right balance.
Yeah, Answer. You should have been in our room. You can be in our room. That's what we're talking about. Just we're gonna eliminate. It's not gonna happen overnight. We're gonna slowly start to eliminate some risk in our game, and that's everyone. And obviously, Phillips got a little bit of that in his game. Even Mo last night. I know we talked about it last night. Mo had a strong game. Mo plays on his toes. Mo got caught outside the dots, pinching on the wrong side of the ice for 2-on-0. We would like to start eliminating those type of things within our game. And Phillips has that tendency to drift in his game a little bit. I think we'll try to simplify, make his game a little more predictable, and take out some of that risk.
And I think you touched on most of the injured guys or the guys that were sick, but any updates on Hag and I think Verana was sick the other day.
Verana full skated today. That was exciting for us. Hag is still out. He won't be available for us. And Kopp skated today in a non-contact jersey. He went through the full practice. We'll probably tomorrow have to define what a non-contact jersey is for him, because he got really engaged, but that's who he is. That's how he knows to play the game. So a good step forward for him. Again, we don't expect to see him anytime soon, but he had a full practice today, non-contact, which is a good step for him.
Thanks, Derek.
All right, those are all the questions we had today. Thanks everyone for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Derek.